Hello everyone, my name is GameTron13 and welcome to a command block tutorial. Today I am going to teach you how to create your own custom arrows and how to give them their own effects. So if you see down in my hotbar, I have a lightning arrow, a TNT arrow, and a fish arrow. I will show you what all three of these arrows do and how to make them yourself. So if I just take a husk and my lightning arrow and shoot it, you see it gets struck by lightning, and even if I fire at the ground, it strikes a lightning bolt at the ground. Same deal with the TNT arrow. If I take a husk and shoot it, it blows up, and I can even fire at the ground and also blow up the ground like that. And if I take my fish arrow, this is a more advanced arrow, but if I take the fish arrow and shoot it at the husk, it will turn it into a fish. And you can see it even keeps its name as well. So I will teach you how to create all these arrow effects and how they work. So if we look at my inventory, you'll see that the lightning arrow is actually a tipped arrow with a custom potion effect on it. You see I have haste 3 on the arrow. The trick is that haste 3 is not an effect that can be gotten in survival mode. So if you want to create a custom arrow, you'll first need to create a potion effect that you can't obtain in regular survival, and then you'll want to test if an entity has the effect in order to execute a bunch of commands. So I'll show you how to do that. First off, in order to create your arrow, you can use a website like MCStacker in order to generate the command. So we can go to /give, and down here we type in tipped arrow, and go all the way down to custom potion effects. Now you can select any potion effect that you want. You just have to make sure that it can't be obtained in regular survival in order for the commands to work properly, and for regular potion effects to not be impacted by your command. So for instance, if we wanted haste 3, we go to amplifier and we type in an amplifier of 2. Now the way amplifiers work is it goes from 0 to 255. So amplifier 0 gives level 1, amplifier 1 gives level 2, so on and so forth. And for the duration, we type in 2. So we have the potion effect for 2 ticks. Now the reason for that is so to give the command blocks enough time to see that a mob has the effect. Because if we were to type in a duration of 1, the effect would instantly disappear and the command blocks wouldn't have enough time to pick up on it. And so 2 ticks give the command enough time to pick up the fact that an entity has the effect. And another thing we want to do is we want to go to HideFlags and we type in, or we check the box hide others, so you will actually hide the effect on the arrow. And you can give it a name and a color if you want as well. It might be worth it to keep a list of the different potion effects that you've created so far so you can keep track of what effects are tied to which arrows. So the first command you're going to want to write is going to be one that disables the damage value associated with the arrow. Now if we just take a weak mob like a chicken for instance and hit it with our arrow, you can see it is just instantly annihilated. And if a mob dies, it is unable to be detected with command blocks. And so in order to prevent that from happening, we have this command that sets the arrow damage value. See, it says data modify entity as the damage value. It sets it to a value of 0.1. Now the reason we have, and make sure you put the D at the end as well, so 0.1D. Now the reason we have it set as 0.1 instead of 0 is because if you just set it to 0, the arrow will not be able to affect players. So if it sets to 0, it just won't even hit the player. So 0.1 gives it just enough damage to actually hit players, but not actually kill anything. And the way we target the arrow is we do execute as the arrow, type equals arrow, and we have an MBT modifier. So we have custom potion effects, and in these brackets here we have the effect, the name of the effect, and the amplifier of the effect. Now I'll put the commands in the description so you can study them further because the brackets can get kind of confusing. But if we just take our chicken again, you can see if we shoot it with the arrow, it is still able to summon the lightning despite the fact that Normally the arrow would completely annihilate it, but since we've set the damage value so low, it is able to be detected with the command blocks when it gets hit. And this is the command that actually summons the lightning, so we go execute as @e any entity that has the MBT of active effects, and once again we put in the effect name and the amplifier. So only if an entity has the haste effect with this exact amplifier is it going to run the command. So we go @s run summon lightning bolt at its location. And we also have a similar command in here targeted at the arrow if it hits the ground. So we have the whole custom potion effects, we have the name, the amplifier, and we have another MBT detector at the behind the potion effects called inGround 1B. This is the data value associated with arrows if it is inside of a block. So if it's in the ground, we also summon the lightning bolt. And the final command is similar to the one we had earlier, but instead of summoning the lightning, it kills the arrow. So it gets rid of the arrow so it doesn't continually summon the lightning. The TNT arrow works exactly the same as the lightning arrow. Instead of lightning, it just summons the TNT. But now we're on to the more advanced stuff. So this is the fish arrow, and just as a reminder, if we hit a mob with the fish arrow, it turns it into a fish. And once again, it even keeps its name. So how do we do this? Well, the starting command is exactly the same. We run a command that modifies the damage value of the arrow and sets it to 0.1. In case you're curious, the effect I'm using for this arrow is water breathing with an amplifier of 1. So it is the water breathing level 2 effect. So this is unobtainable in survival mode once again. Then we run as any entity with the effect of water breathing with an amplifier of 1. We go @s run summon a tropical fish at its location. And these next two commands are just some particle effects and a play sound effect. It's not really advanced. I just added these to give the command some extra flair. But this command is really interesting because this is how we set the name of the fish if the mob has its own custom name. So once again, we do execute as @e type equals not player, because unfortunately this doesn't work for player. So type equals not player. Again, the MBT tag, active effects, the name, the amplifier, all that good stuff we've seen up to this point. Run data modify entity @e type equals tropical fish, and we go limit 1 sort equals nearest. So this command will only target the tropical fish that is closest to the mob that has the effect, and it is the one we summoned with this command. So it's going to target this fish. And we go data modify entity the fish custom name. So this is the custom name of the fish we set from the entity that has the potion effect, and we set this name from this custom name. So this custom name is the name of the mob, this custom name is the name of the fish. So we take this custom name and we put it over here. Next we have a command that sets the persistence value of the fish to 1. So this command prevents the fish from despawning. We go execute as @e active effects, water breathing, amplifier 1, again all the stuff we've seen so far, and we just set the fish's persistence required value to 1. So this command prevents the fish from despawning, and then this command gets rid of the mob that is turning into the fish. So again, execute entity effect, water breathing, amplifier 1. We go @s run teleport the TP command @s to -1000. So this Y level is just far enough so that the mob will instantly despawn, and so we get rid of the mob with this command. And finally we have this command that kills the arrow if it hits the ground. Just to make sure you have a firm understanding of how the advanced potion effects work, I'm actually going to create one more arrow from scratch. So I went back to MCStacker and I picked up this command, which gives me an ender arrow. Now this tipped arrow has a potion effect of speed 3, and what I want to do with this arrow so that if you get hit with the arrow, you will be teleported to a random location. So let's get started with that. So I'm creating my arrow detector with the effect, the name of the effect, and the amplifier, so speed amplifier 2B, and I'm going data modify entity at S, damage value set to 0.1D. Here's the detector for the mob, so we have active effects, the name of the effect, and the amplifier, and we're going to run a quick particle command and a play sound command just to double check these flare effects work. And finally we have a spread players command, which will teleport the mob to a random location between 15 and 30 blocks away from its original position. And also the command that will kill the arrow if it hits the ground. So now we can test our arrow, so I'm going to summon a husk and shoot it to see if it teleports, and I missed. There we go. It has teleported to a random location. If I shoot it again, it teleports that way. If I shoot it again, it teleported over here. Wonderful. And just to confirm that the arrows do in fact work on players, I have set myself in survival mode, so I'm going to shoot myself, and I get teleported to a random location. One more thing I would like to add is that sometimes, actually I believe most of the time, the arrow effect will actually activate twice on mobs occasionally. So if I just hit this guy, you can see he summons 2 lightning bolts. If you want to fix that, you can just go into the effect command, and at the end of the amplifier type in duration 1. So active effects, haste, amplifier 2, duration 1, and so now it should only activate once. So now you know how to create your own custom arrows with their own special effects. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like. Also leave a comment telling me what else you want me to teach you how to create using command blocks. These things are very powerful, and as you can see, I have been dabbling with command blocks in my free time a whole lot. And so if you want me to teach you to create anything else, be sure to leave a comment telling me what you'd like to create. This has been GameTron13, and I'm out. See ya.